I'm Gavin.
And I'm Patrick.
And welcome to Florida E-Ticket Unlocking the Magic.
Presented by Attractions Magazine.
So it's 1980 right now, and in 2 years, we are expected to have Disney World's largest theme park, Epcot Center, is opening, and we have no idea what this is.
Whoa, that's heavy.
It's really heavy, actually, because, I mean, it's so big that I think it's twice the size of Magic Kingdom, if I'm correct. And we love the Magic Kingdom. It's been a lot of fun since they opened up. But you know, our friend Michael Landon's over there in Orlando right now, taking a look around the construction site and seeing what Epcot Center is going to look like in the future. So, Michael, how's it look over there?
Hi. I know a lot of you out there are saying, who is that guy? What is whoever he is doing wherever he is? Well, I'm Michael Landon, and I'm at Orlando, Florida, where Walt Disney World is located. This doesn't look like the Disney World you know? You're right. I'm standing at an incredible new project called Epcot Center. Now you're saying, what's that? Well, Epcot stands for Experimental Prototype Community of Tomorrow. Quite a mouthful, huh? Believe me, it is quite a mouthful. $800 million worth of mouthful. Epcot Center is the realization of Walt Disney's dream to recreate the past, understand the present, and probe the future. And on October 1st, 1982, after more than 2 decades of planning and 2 years of construction, the gates will open on that dream. Here's the Spaceship Earth, where we'll board a time machine and journey through thousands of years of history into tomorrow. And right over there, Communicore, the center of it all, where we'll see and touch the future. And this will be New Horizons, 21st century living on the land, under the sea, and in outer space. And here, the world of motion. Sit back, relax, and have fun riding through a moving experience. The universe of energy. 80,000 solar cells on this roof will enable us to ride on sunshine. And this will be the World Showcase. And that's only the beginning. There are over 27,000 acres to play with. When Walt Disney dreamed, he dreamed.
As you can see, Epcot Center is going to be huge.
Really huge, and it's so big that we cannot tackle this all in one episode. So what we're going to do, and also we want to see it finished, we're going to visit our future selves. We're going to go to 2017, so get ready to do some time traveling, which is what Epcot's all about, right? So we're going to go 2017 to our future selves and see what Epcot looks like that time.
Welcome to the 21st century. Now, it might not look like many things has changed since 1982, but they have. Like, leave a legacy. Back in 2000, it was a new addition for the Epcot's Millennium Celebration. But now Gavin has more history facts for you. I'm not really the history buff, so Gavin, take it away.
Thanks, Patrick, and yes, I do love myself some Disney history. We're going to get started today over here at the first attraction that you see when you walk in. You can't miss it. It's Spaceship Earth. And this attraction opened up with the park on October 1st, 1982. It's gone through some changes over the years, yes, but it's still a classic, wonderful, dark attraction that I ride every time I come to Epcot. So let's learn a little bit more about Spaceship Earth. When Spaceship Earth opened, it was sponsored by Bell System and narrated by Lawrence Dobkin. In 1984, AT&T became the new sponsor of the attraction, and it closed for a major refurbishment. It reopened in 1986, with Walter Cronkite being the new narrator. In August of 1994, it closed for a second major renovation. New final scenes were installed and replaced old final scenes. On November 23, 1994, the attraction reopened with a new narration by Jeremy Irons. In November of 2005, it was announced that Siemens became the new sponsor of Spaceship Earth and signed a 12-year contract. In 2007, they closed the attraction for a major refurbishment, and it reopened in 2008 with a new narration by Judi Dench. Spaceship Earth was rededicated on March 4, 2008. Now, Innoventions is quite a story there when it comes to this attraction. It's an interactive exhibit. It used to be called the Communicore. It opened up with the park, and in 1994 it transformed into Innoventions, and throughout the years it's definitely had a lot of different sponsors with different exhibits inside, and yes, it's definitely not what it used to be, but still Innoventions, and who knows what's going to come with this. But let's take a closer look at Communicore and Innoventions. Communicore was the hub of Epcot Center, both geographically and conceptually, as it brought together nearly all the ideas and concepts explored in Future World and complemented the experiences offered by other pavilions. For example, the Energy Exchange was located in a sector of Communicore adjacent to the Universe of Energy, giving curious guests the opportunity to explore concept of energy more comprehensively after exiting the Pavilion. In an effort to keep Epcot updated and vital, Communicore was closed in January 1994 and redesigned into Innoventions, a more electric, wild, and corporate-driven take on science and technology pavilion. Today, parts of the old Communicore are still untouched, and Mouse Gear is now a merchandise store, which used to be full of fun exhibits that were hands-on and educational. Who knows what the future has in store for Innoventions?
Alright guys, behind me is the Odyssey. Now, when it opened with the park, it was the Odyssey Restaurant. Now, you know how much I love and I'm obsessed with food. They had hot dogs, hamburgers, and for dinner they had chicken. Oh my god, it sounds so good. But unfortunately, it's no longer a restaurant. But in the late 80s, it housed a show called Mickey's Rockin' Celebration. Now, that was unique. It had Mickey, Minnie, Pluto, and it was really cute. It was kind of like a meet and greet type thing with the guests, and it was really very, very cute. But in July of 1994, it unfortunately closed its doors officially, and now it only houses different festivals throughout the year.
So this is Mission Space. This is the attraction that lets you feel what astronauts feel when they are training to go into deep space. Actually, the first manned mission to Mars, to be exact. Now, if you're a little too afraid of this, they do have a green version which has a lot less motion, so I recommend that. But something really cool that a lot of people don't notice when they're entering the attraction is this plaque. This was a plaque that was flown on the Space Shuttle Atlantis back in 2000, which is pretty cool. The STS-101 mission, actually. And it says, "To all who follow their dreams, to infinity and beyond." So that's pretty cool. A piece of NASA history right here at Epcot. Now, before Mission Space, there was Horizons. This was believed to be the sequel to Walt Disney's Carousel of Progress over in Tomorrowland. Horizons was the only attraction in Future World to showcase all of Epcot's Future World elements: communication, community interaction, energy, transportation, anatomy, physiology, along with men's relationship to the sea, land, air, and space. The attraction officially opened on October 1st, 1983, 1 year after the park actually opened. It was part of Phase 2 of Epcot. Horizons originally closed on December 1994, a little more than a year after General Electric ended its sponsorship. The attraction officially closed on January 9th, 1999. It had to be reopened because there were other closures in the area and they had to have some attractions open, while the other rides were down for refurbishment. Now behind me is the Universe of Energy, which features Ellen DeGeneres and Bill Nye, the science guy. If you're a 90s kid, you'll know who Bill Nye is. And of course, if you're an adult from the 90s, Ellen, come on. She had a great show on ABC, and that's why Disney decided to bring her here to the attraction in 1996. Now this attraction, it's pretty dated, but it's a lot of fun. It's 45 minutes. The ride itself is 37 minutes long, and the tiles there on top are actually solar panels because this is the Universe of Energy. And it's educational, it's kind of fun. But those solar panels actually help power the ride, supposedly. But it is still really cool, and it's a beautiful building, and it's a classic. The original Universe of Energy attraction opened up with the park on October 1st. Now on January 21st, 1996, the original Universe of Energy show and pavilion were closed for a lengthy refurbishment. On June 14th, 1996, they had to fully reopen the pavilion, and it was only partially refurbished, and the films with Ellen and Bill Nye were not ready yet, but they had to do that to handle the summer crowds. Now on September 2nd, 1996, the Pavilion closed and the new films were installed. On September 15th, the Pavilion reopened with a whole new show entitled Ellen's Energy Crisis. For some reasons unknown, it was immediately renamed Ellen's Energy Adventure. In 2003, the original Universe of Energy marquees and the entrance to the pavilion were replaced with all new signage to reflect the sponsor's new name, ExxonMobil. In 2004, ExxonMobil dropped its 22-year sponsorship with the pavilion, and all the references to the company were removed from the signage and show.
See, this is a really big story.
You're the man with the big story.
Alright guys, like Gavin said, the other half of Communicore became Mouse Gear's merchandising. Now, I'm not a huge history buff, so I'll let Gavin deal with all that, but one thing I do know is how to shop. So let's go inside and peruse the merchandise and hopefully find something I can get.
Now behind me is what we now know today as the Festival Pavilion. The Festival Pavilion is very large, and it is a big empty space that is used now for private events and also, of course, the Flower and Garden Festival as well as food and wine. And I'm sure next year, if the Festival of the Arts makes a return, they'll probably go ahead and take the Festival Center from the Odyssey and bring it here. So this is something that's not open every day. As you can see today, it's not open. But back in the day, I'll tell you what, it was open every day and it was full of all kinds of cool stuff. So let's take a look at that. The Wonders of Life Pavilion opened up in 1989 and closed on January 1st, 2007. Some of the popular attractions found inside the pavilion were Cranium Command, The Making of Me, and Body Wars. Body Wars is a motion simulator taking guests through a fantastic voyage through the bloodstream. 40 passengers could be accommodated in one capsule. It was very similar to one that you find at Star Tours.
Alright guys, all that window shopping, yes, unfortunately it was window shopping and only window shopping this time around, but this time around, keyword. Now behind me is Stargate. Well, it was Stargate back when this park opened in 1982, but when Interventions was reimagined and under construction, so did this restaurant, and it turned into what we know now is the Electric Umbrella. And I love their hamburgers, so let's grab one and maybe get a cupcake. I can have a cheat day every once in a while, right? Or every day.
Now this is Test Track, one of Epcot's most popular attractions, and not only popular, but very loud, very fast. I think it's actually Disney's fastest attraction to date, and I love it. I think everyone loves it. Now, when Test Track opened, it was a totally different story, and in recent years, it got a reimagineering, and it's more interactive now. You can design your car for the future and actually see how it handles in actual testing. So let's go ahead, grab our car, do a little designing, and see how we do, and learn a little bit more about this attraction in the past. Now before we were speeding around on Test Track, there was World of Motion, which opened up with the park in 1982. It was sponsored by GM. This would take visitors on a 4 to 6 person Omnimover vehicle that would take you through scenes that were populated with lots of audio animatronic figures and projection effects. It was a whimsical look at the history and achievements in transportation, showing scenes from the invention of the wheel right up to the present day and beyond.
Oh, alright guys. So, I didn't get to buy anything. I am full up to here. I didn't get to write anything. Gavin had all the fun to tell you all the fun history facts. What did I get out of it? Well, I got to hang out with you guys, of course. So let's go home and hopefully Gavin will come find me and we'll get into our time continuum and go back to the 80s.
Well, Epcot is huge, and as you can see, we just touched the surface of what they have to offer, so I cannot wait to go back next month.
I know, 2017. Who knew? I thought the world was supposed to end in 2000.
Is it?
That's what I've heard.
Oh gosh. Well, as you can see, it doesn't happen.
But like Gavin and Patrick told us before, make sure to subscribe to Attractions Magazine.
Yeah.
On something called YouTube, maybe. What? And also follow them on their social media sites, they said.
Social?
Social media?
What
I don't know.
That? I don't know.
They said a tweet, so maybe like a bird type of thing.
Okay, maybe I don't want to go to 2017.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But at Florida E-Ticket.
Yeah.
Check them out.
Do that. Oh, and get out.
Have fun.
And enjoy Florida, dudes!